This is a short overview about me, my artwork and my life as an artist. I opened up my first art studio in Stuttgart, this is in Germany, and there I created fountains, also sculptures, where the game with water was just important for me, that the structure of the fountain follows the water flow. And then later I began to work with the media of glass, where I love to work with colored glass or painted glass to use the sunlight which transports then the light through the glass and brings the colors into the room. This is a kind of a very cool game. Now I live in USA and I often get asked, where you grow up? I grew up in the east part of Germany in this time as the Iron Curtain was still up, and also in the communistic part. And this was definitely a very suppressive time. And I escaped from the communistic part into West Berlin. This was in the trunk of a little car. I had now the freedom to create and to develop my life without suppression. So this was a very tough, hard way. I had no money, had no family, I had to find friends, new groups, but I just like to live in freedom. I had my art, and this gave me a lot of pleasure moments. And I created, had a lot of exhibitions. And so, with this gaining success, I became more satisfied with my life, and I enjoyed the expansion of my art. I had a lot of exhibitions, and I love to give speeches to my audience, and I basically love to be with the people which love art, which are interested into the arts. I give speeches in the International Airport in Stuttgart, in Mercedes-Benz Corporation, as I had there my exhibition. I gave speeches in banks and so on. And I wrote a lot of articles, and I got a lot of commissions from big corporations, private collectors, even the royalties. After immigrating to USA, I realized that I carried with me two interesting stories, which are highly interesting for Americans. One of the stories is this invention of the car. As I was working for this artworks for Mercedes-Benz in Stuttgart, I was invited to make my studies about the history of the developing of the cars in their archives. So, and I found there this interesting story about how Carl Benz invented the car and who made the first ever road trip worldwide. So, and it was to me told by Americans, man, we don't know this. We are thinking that Henry Ford developed the car, but you have such a fancy story. So I thought, okay, fine. Then I will develop a documentary about this fascinating story. Yeah, and with this documentary, we had luck. My husband, he's a cameraman and he makes the editing. And we got even an award from the film festival in Seattle for The Car is Born. And then the next story is about my life and the escape from East Germany. In fact, I escaped altogether 3 times, which is kind of unusual. And the life in this East Germany, with all the suppression and behind the Iron Curtain, where you cannot read and listen what you like, you cannot watch films which you like, and so this is just a very strange, unknown situation. And so I made the documentary about this as well. I like to inspire others to have belief and strength in their ideas, and that they see an example in my life that it's value to have wishes and work for this so that they come through.